Hey, bud. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, bud. You alright?
Yeah, how's it going, man? Alright?
Yeah, I just need to turn my speakers up a little bit. There we go. Fucking hell.
Okay.
It's been a stressful week or so.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's been absolutely just manic at work, and then I had my driving theory test today, which I was
how'd
supposed to
that
be
go?
doing.
Yeah, shit.
I passed,
Oh, great.
but I was supposed to be doing sort of like revision on the night, and I've been getting home at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night every night, and then not going out again. I've been out again at like 8 in the morning every night, so I've just not had a chance. And then Sunday and yesterday were basically just cramming days. So I went into it thinking I am totally not prepared for this
Bloody hell.
at all.
But you
At
managed to
all.
get out of the bag.
Yeah, somehow, somehow. I don't know how, but I did. Yeah.
Nice.
You've had a fairly interesting day today, it would seem.
Fucking, yeah. I don't even know what's going on at the moment, but to be fair, like, it's just, right, what am I doing today? Right, okay, fine. Somebody comes over to me, yeah, we're offering a position, you should go for it. You should definitely go for it. We've been forced to advertise it externally, but you should go for it. And it was like, oh, right, cool, okay.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, fucking hell.
That's pretty cool, though.
Mm. Yeah, no, I mean, it was nice, and like speaking to my boss, and she was just like, look, be selfish about it. Do what, don't think about us. Just do what you think is best for you. I was like, oh shit, okay, fair enough. So, she was pretty cool about it, actually. Well, she's very cool about it. So, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Nice, cool. Is it me staying the ship on this one? This is how fucking all over the place I am at the moment. It is, I think, isn't it?
Think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is. 156. Right, I'll lead us in.
Right.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome, people, to episode 156 of Dude and the Monkey. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
Yeah, Loring, hello.
Hello, guys. That's a slight change to the advertised show that we're going to do today, in the fact that we're not doing Jungle Book. Ian is going to talk about it, but me being the selfish bastard I am, just didn't manage to see it because of life things. However, we are going to do The Invitation, which I've got some views on, we'll say. So that's going to be, hopefully, an interesting discussion. I think we've both got quite a bit to talk about in our... sort of what we've been watching, so we didn't do one last week, so we did 3 movies.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully there'll still be a lot in the show to get out there. Ian, is there anything to add before we jump into trailers? Is there anything that's happened?
No, I would say on the YouTube channel I put up...
You did Ian's game face.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna do every now and then. I'm not gonna promise to do it every week, because that wouldn't happen, but I'll do it as and when I feel like it, and as and when I got something to say. So it's about 20 minutes of me banging on about getting an Xbox One and how I'm actually really enjoying it. And if I'll be honest, if the Xbox One launched in the state it is now, I would have been perfectly comfortable getting an Xbox over a PlayStation. I think Microsoft are doing some really good things, and I think they're kind of treating their customers better than Sony are at the moment. But anyway, I direct you to that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you think I'm a fucking 12-year-old for buying an Xbox, don't you? So.
No, I don't. The thing is, this does go back to the 360 thing. And it all stems back to, I remember having an argument. I call it a discussion, but it wasn't a discussion, it was an argument with a couple of guys at work when the PS3 was being launched and the Xbox 360 was being launched and the Wii were all getting launched around the same time. I remember one of the guys that I worked with was saying that the Xbox, that this was how Xbox were going to overtake Sony and that Microsoft were going to put all their thing behind it. And he was going, and I remember just nodding there, looking like the smuggest twat you can imagine, going, yep. And then when he finished going, I will stop you in your tracks right there. And he's like, what? I said, it won't happen. And I'm going, go on then, why? And I said, I'll tell you why. One thing, Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And that was it. And he was like, oh no, HD DVD will outstrip Blu-ray. And I remember saying at the time, I bet you 20 quid that HD DVD doesn't last the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And I took that 20 quid off him despite the fact that not only did I not work with him by that point, he lived in a different city. I still messaged him to say, you owe me 20 quid.
Yeah, nice.
That's the way. There was another guy that was with us, Matt, who I do talk to quite a lot now. Still, the guy was a lovely guy, by the way, the guy I was having the discussion/argument with, Anthony. Matt, another guy who's a complete Nintendo freak, went, I'll tell you what, the Wii won't be as good as either of those consoles, but it'll outsell both of them without question. We both looked at him and went, you know what, he's right. It all stems back to that, and I was winding you up a little bit because that's what we do.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
I can't really talk because I bought an iPad Pro this week, so.
Yes, you did. Yeah, I bought an iPhone SE.
Yes, which do you know what? If that had come out a couple of months ago when I was getting my 6S, I think it is I'd have got that instead.
It is fucking lovely. It's nice and chunky, which I like. Screen's fine, and the photos that come out of it are awesome. And it shoots 4K. And I got a 64 gig model, and it was 439 quid. You know, like, I think an iPhone 6S 16 gig model is more than that. And I got a 64 gig, and it's got the same internals as a 6X S. All that's missing is the bloody 3D touch, and I've never used that before, so I don't care. Loving it, loving life.
Yeah, well, I got the Pro because I had a bad day.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I had a really shitty day, and so I thought, right, I need something to cheer me up. So Vodafone had called us not too long ago to tell us that our iPad was due an upgrade, and we sort of said at the time, really? Didn't think you got an upgrade on your iPad? And they're like, oh yeah. So I rang up the Vodafone store and basically said to them, right, I want to upgrade my iPad. And I said, oh, you don't do that. It's like, well, somebody told me that I could.
Yeah.
And they said, no, that's not how it works. I said, all right, that's fine if that's the case, but somebody told me I could. I want to know why somebody told me I could and you're not telling me I can't.
Yeah.
Can you look at this from my point of view? Who's right and who's wrong? To which they went off, listened to the call, came back and went, yes, somebody did tell you that. So I ended up getting the iPad for a ridiculously low cost.
It's
they said,
mental how much you got that for. Yeah.
They're saying, look, we can't give you it for free. You've got to give us something because they physically will not. There's nothing on the system that lets me do that to that. So I got it for a really low price. I think it's about $49.95 and it's £15 a month for a year.
Yeah, that's mental.
Yeah, and I bought the keyboard. I bought the keyboard. And it's only a year as well. It's only like 18 months or 2 years. It's a year. Yeah. So I've got up like 200 quid. And that's with 10 gigs worth of data a month. So
fucking hell.
I know.
So it's like the 4G version as well.
Yeah, it's the 4G version. Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So I got the keyboard as well, which now I'm literally going, how the fuck do you use an iPad without a keyboard now? Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah. Trailers. There's probably been a few out because we did record last week, didn't we? But yeah, there's been a few out, I think, haven't there? There's been. I'll let you go.
Trailers, yeah, sure. So 9 Lives. Kevin Spacey's a cat.
Yeah. Okay. It's a strange one, that.
That feels like some people did some shady under the table stuff and now it's like, we're going to reveal you unless you star in our cat movie. I like, what the fuck is Kevin Spacey doing in this film? Yeah.
That literally is. It is. Kevin, will you be in this film where you're a talking cat? No, I won't. It's $2 million. You can record it all in a week. You pick the country, and we'll find a sound studio somewhere there. Okay.
Yeah. We need you for 2 days of live action stuff, and then you can just do it back down a phone.
Yeah. Yeah, he's done it on the cam.
No, mental. So, yeah, there's that. The Birth of a Nation, what I already think is going to win Best Picture next year, because the narrative is going to be all over this next year. It looks cinematic. It looks all right.
It does, yeah. It does. Because what I'm hoping in this movie is that it's not just a reactionary. Oh my god, it's amazing. Is that it is actually really fucking good. And the trailer, if I knew nothing about kind of the hoo-ha about it and everything like that, and I just watched the trailer, I would watch it and go, ooh, okay, that looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I don't even remember it, so there's that.
I didn't even bother fucking clicking on it.
Yeah, I genuinely can't remember a thing that happened in it. So there's that. Yeah.
But apparently there's gonna be 3 of them.
What, of the films?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are. I'll watch it. I'm a little bit ambivalent about whether I'll go see it in the cinema, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, its inception begins.
Yeah, it does look like it's borrowing from a lot of things, but then again, it is a trailer.
Yeah, but I'm interested. I was interested anyway. This makes me neither more nor less.
Yeah.
To be honest, I kind of thought it was a bit of a non-event of a trailer. To be honest, it
is. It kind of landed more than arrived. Yeah, which is weird. It is almost like Marvel treating it a little bit like sub-Marvel, which is strange for them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, like, they've got Civil War, so, they've got their money in the bank for the year, so I suppose they could probably take a chance on Doctor Strange. I mean, Scott Derrickson directing it is interesting, the cast is solid enough.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. There's nothing that says it's going to be bad. It looks like it could potentially be aggressively average.
Yeah, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing in there where you went, ooh, but there's a lot where you went, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, the kind of the spinny stuff looks like it could be interesting. Like, it looks like the training stuff is going to be quite, like, trippy. And, sure.
It does look a little bit like, I don't know, a little bit Matrixy Inception-y.
Yeah, I hope that's... I hope the battles, like, it would be good if the battles went a bit mental.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, Marvel have, like, with Ant-Man, they're going into the quantum zone or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Towards the end of that was quite striking visually. So it would be, I don't know, it'd be fun if they do something like that with this. I don't know, it just, forget what you know. Okay, great. That's every single line ever. It's just like the most generic fucking thing. And but I don't know. Tilda Swinton looks interesting. Cumberbatch sounds like House, which everybody said, but it does.
I didn't notice that until you said that. Actually, it does, doesn't it?
He like the fucking line about chakras, it literally sounds like Hugh Laurie is in a house talking about I don't believe in chakras. Great, cool. There's that. And then big one for the week, Neon Demon, I'd say.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Let's do this, It looks... Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, right, let's go. And then I have to do something. Yeah, it looks like a Nicholas Winding Refn movie. I'm fucking totally up for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I, I, I mean, I kind of hope it's not just a complete style exercise.
Yeah, you want closer to Drive than Only God Forgives, and I really enjoyed Only God Forgives. But
Yeah, so
let's
no,
be
I
honest.
agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I think it needs a bit more substance than Only God Forgives had, but we'll see. I think it looks like the film of the year that people are going to have an opinion on. Like it's just like everybody's going to have a very direct
yeah.
opinion, and everyone's going to want to say their opinion multiple times.
Exactly, especially the people who decide they don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one of those films where if you turn around and go, do you know what? I thought it was all right. It's a solid 7 out of 10. You know, there's some bad, there's some good. People who love it will hate you because you don't love it, and people who hate it will hate you because you don't hate it.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
will literally, no, it's terrible, no, it's brilliant. Like it's just cat a film, just be all right.
No.
No, yeah. So yeah, there is that. Anything else? 'Cause I've one more.
No, that's it for me. Far away, dude.
I had one more, and I watched it out of pure fucking curiosity and
Okay.
nothing more. I watched the Angry Birds movie trailer,
Sure. Okay.
right? For the simple fact, and I thought, how have they made it? How has it taken them this long to make it? And surely that game is on nobody's iPhone anymore at all, unless it's somebody who quite simply doesn't leave the house because I don't know, they've got too many children living in it. I laughed a few times.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I did go, do you know what? I'm gonna watch that at some point. Not in the cinema, or not quickly, but at some point I'm gonna be hovering over it and go, fuck it. And it's gonna go on. Probably either at like 2 in the morning when I'm a little bit drunk, or at about 8 in the morning when I've woken up from being a little bit drunk.
Oh, a little bit drunk.
Yes, you're still plowing away at that, aren't you?
3.5 weeks.
That's pretty fucking good going.
Yeah.
So 2 questions. One, are you noticing how much money you're saving?
No, so I bought an Xbox One, so like I'm just.
But you have the ability to. You have the ability to buy the Xbox One because
I'm not literally because I'm not drinking. Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Other one, have you lost weight?
Yeah, but to be fair, like I've been doing a lot more like running in prep for the half marathon and whatnot as well. But I have lost about 5 pounds or so. So yeah.
Yeah, cause that was my thing. When I gave up drinking about 2-3 years ago for like 3-4 months, and probably not longer than that, about 4 or 5 years ago, actually, for about 2-3 months, and I lost weight. Quite significant. I didn't notice any extra money or anything like that, but I definitely noticed that I lost a bit of weight.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I mean, it is what it is. Beer bellies are beer bellies. You know, they're so named for a reason. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, like after the 6 months, I'll just see how it goes. You know, I mean, like it'll be into October then, so it'll be getting on for Christmas season. So
yeah,
you know, I'll probably, I mean, Christ, the John Carpenter gig, I'll probably fall off the wagon quite spectacularly then. But
yeah. Yeah, you aren't going sober through that, boy.
No, I would think I wouldn't. But on Angry Birds though, yeah, I mean, I'll probably watch it with Lottie at some point, you know.
Exactly, yeah. Right, so our feature film, The Invitation. Ian kind of messaged me and said, "Do you want to do this?" It kind of just arrived on VOD last week. So we give it a watch. Directed by Karyn Kusama, who directed
Aeon Flux,
Jennifer's Body. That was it, yeah. Starring Logan Marshall Green, Tommy Blanchard, and a few kind of other sort of semi-recognisable people around there. Film starts with Logan Marshall Green's character Will and his girlfriend Cara, his seemingly new girlfriend, who are driving up to a dinner party hosted by his ex-wife and her new husband. Logan Marshall Green's character seems a little bit tense and sort of like he's not really kind of up for it, and there's hints of things in the background, etc. And it's made very well aware that nobody's heard from Eden, his ex-wife, for 2 years, I think it is, and then she's just come back and invited this sort of group of friends to go around for a dinner party at her house with her new husband, and they get there and it's the old friends with a mixture of a few new friends, and weird things start to happen, which we'll get to as we go through. And remember, we're all spoilers all the time, guys, if you are new listeners or if you've just forgotten, which would be insane if you have. And we will get quite spoilery with this because I don't think there's any way you can't really, to be honest.
Yeah, no, not really.
So Ian, The Invitation, what did you think?
Yeah, so I mean, again, this is one of those ones that's been kind of like bubbling under the surface for a while. You know, like people going to screenings of it and then kind of going a bit nuts, and it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes, and it's fine. It's fine. I like it. I think Logan Marshall Green is very good. I mean, like I only ever recognised him in this and Prometheus, and he's like so much better in this than he is in Prometheus. It's almost untrue. And I think he's the anchor for the film. I think everybody else kind of struggles around him, and it kind of feels like he's in a different film, and the film around him is maybe a bit more schlocky. And yeah, logic holes. You could drive a truck through, I think. And I thought the last 10 seconds or minute or so maybe felt like it came from another film entirely.
I've got a particular bugbear with that, to be honest, as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's get into that then. Like, because what the fuck did that have to do with anything else?
Well, what that was, it's a reference back to are you meaning all the red lights coming on?
Yeah, like obviously the guy like puts the lantern on earlier on. It's like, what's that about?
Yeah,
like,
essentially, it's a beacon, isn't it, to people, other people who are in this kind of this sect or this cult, to essentially do the same thing as what they're doing, and it's to offer all these sacrifices, and that's what that is.
But it's
and
they're offering him as a sacrifice. Earlier. But John Carroll Lynch just shoots a bunch of people. It's not it's even like a ritual thing. Sorry, go on.
Well, they were supposed to, weren't they? They were supposed to drink the Kool-Aid, essentially. Which the thing that annoys me about this is the film's doing quite well.
Yes.
Up to that point.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it's doing well, and you're going, right, you've already worked out ages ago what's going to happen. But you are working out going, but how is it going to get there? Totally. It's doing a terrible job in trying to convince you, in trying to straddle you between, is he just being paranoid, or are they crazy cult people? No, they are crazy cult people. He's not being paranoid.
Obviously crazy cult people.
Yeah,
this is a horror film.
But you're still wondering, but how's it going to play out? And then it plays out and you go, they're just 10 minutes of mad killing. Oh, that's it. All right. And then they pull that fucking stunt and you go, oh, do you know what? You'd earned it. Up to that moment before the first shooting, or even the moment of the shooting, you'd earned it. You were earning to go for that big a fucking hell, look at all these beacons that are going around. You'd earned that. But then you can't go as generic as A, drink the fucking Kool-Aid, and B, just stalk and shoot. It literally, quite literally, shit the bed.
Yeah.
And then it pulled the curtains off and went, look at this lovely bed we've made for you. And you're like, no, it's covered in shit. Is what it is. It's you literally, you brought me to a really nice, plush, modern-looking fucking hotel, right? You've shown me around the room. As I've been looking in the bathroom and trying out the shower, you've taken a giant shit on the bed, come back, pulled it to the side, and gone, go to sleep now. No, fuck off. Yeah. It's covered in shit.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is. I mean, that's the thing. It had I'm the same. It had my goodwill. I was like, okay, it's
And a
going
lot
somewhere.
of that is Logan Marshall Green, who's very good.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, and the whole like the grief thing, like the way that's played out, and like the kind of the flashbacks and the like it kind of almost in his head stuff. I think that stuff's really interesting. And the scene where he's like just flat out accusing him, and then that Choi guy turns up, and then he's like, you know, I'm so sorry, you know, and just the way that all plays out, it's really well done. And it kind of like would have been ballsy if it just like turned out that it was a really weird, edgy, tense dinner party.
Yeah, it would do, because at that point, I seem to remember, I was getting a vibe off it of, have you ever seen the film? I think it's called The Anniversary Party. I think it was Alan Cummings' directorial debut, if I remember correctly. Alan Cummings, sorry, directorial. Alan Cummings and Jennifer Jason Leigh directed it.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. It had like, this is a similar kind of thing where it's a load of old friends going round, setting a similar sort of setup, going round to have like a wedding, one of their wedding anniversaries, and then everything starts to sort of fall apart. Yeah, it's got Jennifer Jason Leigh, Alan Cumming, who wrote and directed it. And it all stars Kevin Kline, John C. Reilly, Phoebe Cates, Gwyneth Paltrow, Parker Posey. It's a really sort of interesting film. And up to a point, this has got that kind of vibe, if that were a kind of thriller horror movie, rather than just one of those intellectual dramas that you get. And I was getting that off it. And then the problem is people like Tony Blanchard in this, who I'm sure is taking direction in how weird she's playing it. He's playing it so floaty, cool in the long white dress and hugging everybody and just being really like that. And then you've got a fucking douchebag new husband who's wearing like the trousers that look like he made them himself. And it just, you're wanting to scream at it. We know what's happening.
Yeah, no, exactly. And but I mean, then it does kind of interesting things like the video they watch.
Yeah.
And like I like the reactions to that as well, where they're just like, "What the fuck? Like, what is, you know, what?" I liked that, and like the one girl who's nervous about the whole thing, and like I'm glad they had her, because otherwise it is like, how is no one just walking away from this, you know?
Yeah.
But at least they do that. So that, you know, they've got. The build up is decent, you know, but like you say, it's stalk and shoot. I mean, like with House of the Devil, that's similar in kind of like a slow burn, but the 10 minutes at the end is so mental.
Yeah.
That it kind of like it justifies it. This, it's not. It's people get shot, people get stabbed, people creep around. There's a tussle, then someone dies, and then there's a gotcha ending.
Yeah.
You know, I like, and the thing is, the image at the end of all the Red Lanterns is a cool image.
It is, but it hasn't earned it.
No, and it doesn't. I don't feel like the story beforehand has sufficiently told me what this stuff means at the end. And you could do the whole kind of like, well, it's your interpretation as to what's going on. No, fuck off.
Fuck off, yeah. Exactly. The thing is, it all boils down to him going out and lighting the beacon. But, the big guy, not...
John Carroll Lynch?
Not John Carroll Lynch, the big guy, the big friend guy.
Oh, yeah, the one who gets slapped earlier on. Yeah.
Yeah, he turns around to the David guy at one point and says, "Oh, yeah, my boss is into the invitation." And he goes, No, it's completely different. That is all there is to suggest that this is known outside of this little town in Mexico they went to. And it all felt a little bit like, do you know what? There's a more interesting film in there than what you wanted to make. And I absolutely think that they started with that image at the end.
Yeah, and worked backwards.
And then had an idea and then worked backwards. And you can tell, because it just feels, and then you've got John Carroll Lynch is perfectly fine in it, but he's generic cult guy, big guy, troubled past. And then you've got the Sadie girl who, let's be honest, just looks like a crackhead who'd believe anything if they threw crack at her.
Yeah, I mean that whole bit where like she comes out to him earlier on, she's like, you can fuck me right here if you want, you know. Why don't we just do what we want? That bit just felt completely out of nowhere, and
the fact that at the start of the film we're introduced with just wearing just a top and nothing, no trousers, no pants or anything. It's a bit like, do you know what? I didn't need to see her bush.
Yeah.
I did nothing. Why was she could quite easily have just been stood there off to the underwear. I know it's supposed to be that it was weird that she was stood there like that, but did it add anything other than the fact that we got to see a woman half naked?
Yeah, no, exactly.
It just felt a little bit like that's a bit awkward, really.
Yeah.
In the same ways as I remember when I watched Jennifer's Body, I felt a little bit awkward at the amount of focusing they did on Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox's pants in that film. Where I remember thinking in that film, I'm seriously sick of seeing Megan Fox in just pants now. It's nice, but I've got bored of it now. I want to see something else.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I don't know. It just, I don't get why people are going nuts for it.
Because it looks nice.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks nice, and it talks smarts at some point. But the problem is, the smart bits and the looking nice are the best bits about it. It's when it gets done with this cult bullshit that it gets boring.
But then, I mean, like I say, I mean, the video, the person dying and the guy just saying like, I love you, I'll see you soon, and stuff like that. Like, it's creepy. You know, I mean, like the lack of explanation in a way is interesting, but the Red Lantern thing at the end is so incongruous. It's like, what? So like the whole of this area of LA are in on it?
Yeah, it felt one or two you'd have been all right with, but there's a lot there.
And like,
and also, you know, the video.
Yeah.
When you look at that video that was showing it, and they had that Dr. Joseph, whatever he was called, giving that little speech, where he sat there just looking at it going, so did they just use the empty set from the Sacrament then?
Yeah. No, Christ, I'd rather. I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. But I would much rather watch The Sacrament again than watch this again. I genuinely would.
It's more of an interesting cult film because it lays itself out as that's what it is. It doesn't have any ideas of its station. Whereas I have a feeling The Invitation kind of does. It's very pretty, but it's just.
It's just like for all the stuff at the beginning about like grief and how people react to grief and stuff, and then the last 10 minutes is stabby, shooty. Oh, like the whole area's in on it. Great.
Yeah, it is. It's just a little bit. I was disappointed. I say I didn't dislike it, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody because it just it goes off a fucking cliff.
Yeah. No, I mean that's it. I mean, like you say, Logan Marshall Green is really, really solid. You know, I liked how matter of fact and straight to the point and not really having a pretense and being an open book. I liked how his character was just pretty much saying what he felt the entire time.
Yeah.
And if he didn't have anything nice to say, he wasn't saying anything until it kind of explodes towards the end. Like, I really liked how downbeat his character was.
The tension in the scene where he's sat like on the stairs bit and that David guy locks the door and he takes the key out and he's like, why are you taking the key out of the door? And it's not a question, it's an accusation as why have you done that? And then the guy says, oh, well, there's been a lot of what is it? And he's like, well, I haven't heard about them. Which I think is the best line of the movie, is I haven't heard about any of that. And then he just says, what if there's a fire? And it's a bit like, cool then, come back from that, dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it should be better. It could have been better.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's disappointing. But
I'm touching cloth on it because it's not all bad, and I feel bad saying it's shit because Logan Marshall Green is good and it builds up really well. But like almost every fucking modern horror movie, it seems to be, it just cannot. It just goes generic.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very, very big on The Witch. It's still one of my favourite films of the year, you know. So I'm not saying this happens every single time, but I mean, I'm going to say definitely not shit because I really did like Logan Marshall Green and I liked the build up and I liked the tension. But it's that last. It's from the Kool-Aid bit onwards. I disconnected.
Yeah.
I really aggressively did.
Especially as one of the guys that survived is a guy who literally we have built no rapport with at all. One of the guy who survives.
Oh
It's
God,
like,
yeah.
Hang on a minute. Why did one of the other people who's actually fucking said something other than "I want a blowjob" survive?
Yeah. That's a fair point, actually.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it.
Cool. Right. Let's move on to what we've been watching and throw a few at us.
Okay, so I'll do Dungle Book. I'll do Jungle Book. Which is done like really, 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 really well. And I think for the most part that's fine. This was getting like some pretty fucking rave reviews when reviews started popping up, and I think since then there have been slightly cooler ones. And I am on the slightly cooler spectrum here, but I will say The Jungle Book is one of my favourite animated films of all time. Like it's really, really up there. I rewatched it just before actually like the morning of seeing this, and I would give it a 5 out of 5 just because of like personal nostalgia, even though the fact that like basically the end is Mowgli going pussy hunting is a really, really weird ending. The way the girl manipulates him into like following her into the village is mental. Just like what the fuck. And Favreau's actually like come out and said he's not very comfortable with how the original film ends and whatnot as well, which is kind of fair enough. So here the story is largely the same. So you got Mowgli, who is raised by wolves, and Bagheera, voiced by Ben Kingsley, basically takes him to the man village tries to take him to the man village when Shere Khan, voiced by Idris Elba, kind of comes along and basically says, "Give me that man cub, otherwise I'm going to fucking murder everybody." I mean, spoiler for the first 20 minutes of the Jungle Book, he kills Mowgli's dad. With kind of a pretty brutal little scene, to be fair. Just kind of like claws at his throat and chucks him off a cliff. Which is right, fucking hell, fair enough. The first thing to say about the Jungle Book is rated PG, but don't take your little ones. There's a 3-year-old looking kid in front of me who was fucking terrified. There are proper jump scares in it. There's a legit jump scare involving some long grass and Shere Khan pouncing out of it, which was a bit holy shit. The kid made her parents leave about 20 minutes before the end. And to be fair, I kind of think those parents maybe should have done a bit of research. Even though the PG guide, the BBFC
PG guide's there,
yeah. I mean, the BBFC guide says mild threat. I kind of think it's a bit more than mild. I mean, like the Scarlett Johansson car sequence is, pretty like creepy. Even though she's basically an exposition device in this, which is mental. Like somehow she gives Mowgli his backstory he didn't know, which doesn't make any sense. She's like, look into my eyes and I'm going to tell you and the audience how you came to be in the wild in the first place. Really? Also, the treatment of the songs I'm not very happy with, but again, this is a personal connection to the original. Bill Murray rattles off the bare necessities like he's drunk, and just kind of like, the bare necessities, all those simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. All the bare necessities, those Mother Nature recipes that bring the bare necessities to life. It's God, really?
Is it basically a man going, I can't sing?
Yeah, because that's the thing. Bill Murray can't sing, and he ably demonstrated that in A Very Merry Christmas. And it's that, you know. And Bill Murray, otherwise, is very good casting for it. But there's that. Christopher Walken is King Louis. He's a gangster, Colonel Kurtz Gigantopotamus, or whatever he's called, which is mental.
It did look in the trailer a bit Colonel Kurtzy, yeah.
Yeah, no, he is, because he's in shadow, and then he kind of leans forward, and the light shines on his face, and he's like, I'm King Louis. It's like, whoa, all right then. Bloody hell. He's really threatening. And they skip the first verse of I Want to Be Like You. You get the whole song in the credits.
See, in my brain, Chris Walken doing that is basically Chris Walken talking it in a very, like you said, like Bill Murray does.
He's kind of singing. He's fine, but like, I'm the king of the swingers, all the jungle VIP. I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I want to be a man cub and stroll right into town, just be like the other men, not trying to monkey around. You know, I want that. I want that. I don't want it in the credits. I want Christopher Walken to sing it. I don't want it to skip straight to, but don't try to kid me, man cub, I made a deal with you. You know, I don't want that. I want him to sing the whole song. I don't care if it's creepy. I want Christopher Walken to do the whole thing. Yeah, you're doing it in the credits. Awesome. That's great. I want it in the main bloody thing. Give me it in the main thing. Fuck you.
Yep.
I say is, I think Donna's bringing Lottie up. Hi. Hello, Lottie. Do you wanna do a little bit of talking on Daddy's podcast? Do you want to say hello? No. What do you want? What do you want? What's up? Oh.
You wanted to see Daddy? Say
hello. Hello. What's going on? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Come here. Come here. What can I do for you? Put you over there? Where? On the bed? No? You being shy? Are you being shy? You say hello to Uncle Mark?
Hello, Lottie, you're right.
Him not hear you? Hang on.
I can hear you.
Oh, say hello, lots.
Hello, Lottie.
Is that Uncle Mark?
Here.
What? Oh, that's the Wolf Man. And who's that up there? Totoro.
Totoro.
Is it?
Me.
And May, yeah. And who else? Who? What are you looking at now?
Right, Daddy's working. Shall we go back downstairs and have a bath?
Okay, you say bye-bye.
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 We won't go downstairs.
You're going to go downstairs?
No.
Where do you want to go?
Here.
Why do you want to go over there?
Yeah.
Why?
Daddy's working, darling. Let's go downstairs. We won't go over here.
You want to go over there?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we say bye-bye? No. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you go with Mummy.
Daddy's working. We won't go here. We can have a bath now. No, we won't go.
Uh-oh. Oh, man, she's, I'll just give a bit of context what she was doing. She's very, very, very big on taking all her Disney Pixar collection Blu-rays out of the boxes.
Oh.
And like looking at them. We'll stick a Blu-ray on the Blu-ray player in here. She'll watch it for 2 minutes and go, another one. And then find another one for her, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Anyway, I think I can start swearing again now. So I want King Louis. I want him to do his King Louis thing. So yeah, the songs kind of feel like they're there out of obligation, and I kind of almost wish they just didn't bother. Which is a shame, because you don't really want to feel like that. But I mean, it is what it is. But the scale of it is great. It's a big film, and it looks great. The fact that like the Mowgli kid, who's not great by the way, the fact that he's the only live action element of it is insane.
Yeah.
Like it looks it looks real. Like I like the fact it was all shot on like green screens in LA, in like downtown LA, is I can't get my head around that. It looks amazing and good on it. And the animals talking doesn't look as weird as you think it would. I mean, Shere Khan in particular looks incredible. Like, incredible. And Idris Elba's great as well. And he's not doing an American accent, he's doing his normal accent.
Oh, he's just talking normally.
Yeah, like his gruff Idris Elba self, which is awesome. And they make some changes to the story as well, which I think are legit interesting changes and feel appropriate. And yeah, I mean, the action scenes are good, and it's tense. But I mean, yeah, the kid's not great. The songs do feel rattled off, and yeah, I'm not really high on it, but it's certainly not a disaster. It feels like Jon Favreau wasn't just making it out of obligation. It doesn't feel like a director for hire thing. It feels like he was genuinely trying to make a great family film, and to an extent he's done that. It's just the stuff that feels beholden to the original. It's respectful of the original, but it kind of feels like maybe strike your own path. They're already in discussions about a sequel. If they just drop the songs completely, I'd kind of be down for that, frankly.
Yeah, because I mean, it costs an awful lot of money as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it looks it. You know, I mean, it
looks. It's all up there on screen then.
Yeah, it looks like it cost $200 million, especially when you consider the fact the kid is the only live action element. Mental, just absolutely mental.
That is pretty impressive, actually. Yeah.
So I'm just going to rattle through if that's okay.
Yeah, rattle through, bud.
Cool. So rewatch Steve Jobs, awesome. I watched Jean Renoir's French Can, which has just left movie, which was a lot of fun actually. Love story and it's not amazing, but looks great. Great, fantastic dance sequence at the end. You know, like a decent time. I watched Money Train, which I really enjoyed actually. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson.
I love Money Train. However, you shouldn't have watched it because it's a Christmas movie.
That's true. The train.
Yeah, I look forward.
But the train is coming now.
Yeah,
the train is coming, baby. That's just fucking shit. But you know,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kill Your Friends, which was all right. If you ever want to see James Corden really violently killed, that's the film for you.
I do, but is he in it actually talking at any point?
Yeah, he's not in it that much.
Yeah, he's a horrendous piece of shit, that guy.
Yes. Pineapple Express, which I genuinely think is a 5 out of 5 comedy classic. I fucking love Pineapple Express. You just got hit by a Daewoo Lamos, motherfucker, is a line for the ages.
I remember I absolutely hated Pineapple Express the first time I watched it.
Mental.
I absolutely couldn't stand it. And Becky quite enjoyed it. And then she got me to watch it again, and I thought it was alright. And then I watched it again and thought, oh, I quite like this actually. And now I actually really like Pineapple Express. There's a lot of really fucking fun shit going on in that movie.
Oh man, yeah, there is. I'm sorry, I really need a pee. I'm really sorry. I'll be right back. I've got the bladder of a fucking 80-year-old. Yeah, no, Pineapple Express. It makes me laugh really hard consistently. So, okay, I've actually only got a couple more. Star Wars Force Awakens, rewatched that. Still really like it, what can I say? It is kind of crazy how similar the plot is to A New Hope, but they did intend that. I will say, the documentary that actually screened at a festival and whatnot, Secrets of the Force Awakens, A Cinematic Journey. Not great.
Is it not?
No, Mike talked about it on Chinstroker versus Punter. It's very it's not very digging in the dirt nearly as much as you want. It does feel rather Disneyfied. Like the amount of the whole J.J. Abrams wasn't the first choice director. Yeah, Harrison Ford's accident, you know, that kind of stuff. It's not really gone into the fact that George Lucas was like the white slavers comment that he made and all that kind of stuff. Like I suppose you wouldn't expect that stuff to be discussed, but it is disappointing how it is just like, oh, Star Wars is huge. Oh, I couldn't believe it when I got it. I couldn't tell people for ages. Oh, Star Wars is huge. Oh, we love Star Wars. As people who worked on this, who worked on the first one. Oh, wow, that's great. Awesome.
It's a little bit like, well, we know that.
Yeah. I mean, there are some interesting things. There's Harrison Ford being gruff in the interviews is quite enjoyable. But I don't know. It didn't really feel like much. The kind of like how they did BB-8 is actually pretty interesting. There's not enough of that stuff. But yeah, so it's the documentary's not great. I mean, some of the featurette stuff's all right. It does feel like a pretty disappointing package though, especially compared to what you get with a lot of the other Star Wars DVDs and stuff in the past. So hey, I've only got one other thing to talk about. I watched this on Netflix a bit randomly. Have you ever seen High Spirits?
High Spirits. The name rings a bell.
Neil Jordan directed. Steve Guttenberg. God, bloody Daryl Hannah, Peter O'Toole.
Is Liam Neeson in it?
Yeah.
I think I've seen it a long time ago on like VHS.
Yeah. Kind of mental. It's basically Peter O'Toole plays. What are you alright, Smiley? You want a film? Yeah. Oh, good girl. Yeah, like Peter O'Toole plays this guy, this guy who like owns this like family castle, and he's basically about to like foreclose on it, and he resets it up as a tourist attraction for people who want to like see ghosts and stuff like that. And they make a load of fake ghosts, but then real ghosts start popping out the woodwork, including Liam Neeson as comedy ghost rapist man. Which is mental, and it's Beverly D'Angelo like slowly falling in lust with him.
Yeah, I think I remember that briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Steve Guttenberg falling in love with ghost Daryl Hannah. And it's just, I don't know. It's kind of mental. The moral of it at the end is beauty is basically skin deep, which is quite something. Like the central crux at the end of it is Daryl Hannah turns into a corpse basically, and it's Steve Guttenberg going, I'm not really into this now, and her going, but beauty's on the inside. He's like, yeah, but looks help. And it's just, and it's like, really? Wow, this is not what I was expecting. But, I mean, Peter O'Toole's basically drunk throughout the entire thing, as he actually probably was.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's running around with a ginger wig trying to shag Beverly D'Angelo, and Steve Guttenberg's looking moony-eyed at Daryl Hannah. It's fine.
Isn't there a very young Jennifer Tilly in that as well?
Yeah, totally. It's Jennifer Tilly and Peter Gallagher. And Peter Gallagher's a priest, and Jennifer Tilly's just trying to shag him the entire.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's on Netflix, and I was like, right, that cast is interesting. It's Neil Jordan. I've never heard of this. I'll stick it on, and it was all right.
It's random. It's a Neil Jordan movie.
Yeah, it's very random.
I don't think I knew that. I remember seeing it, but obviously at the time I don't think I paid attention to the fact that it was a Neil Jordan movie.
Yeah, I mean, my review on Letterboxd could have done with more drunk O'Toole and less moon-eyed Guttenberg. Enjoyed Liam Neeson's ghostly sex pest, though. There you go.
Ghostly sex pest. Liam Neeson's ghostly sex pest. That's a great. That's a great
band, isn't it?
Good band or a good pub quiz name.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, I'll rattle through mine actually then in a similar fashion. Rewatched Barbarian Sound Studio because Becky hadn't seen it and I bought it for $2.99 in the week. It's I think it still holds up really well. It's my third or fourth watch. I was more watching Becky's reaction to it at the fact that where it just kind of switches on itself, and she was like, looking at me, what? Did I fall asleep 5 minutes and miss something? Like,
yeah.
No, you didn't. So what happened? That's it. You don't need to explain it.
Yeah.
She's like, do you know what? fine. It looked nice enough, and it was creepy.
Yeah.
That I will take. That's just how it is. I'm fine with that. So yeah, I really enjoyed the rewatch Burning Sound Studio. It's it just works. I'm trying. It's all down to Toby Jones because Toby Jones is a fantastic actor, but it's him kind of not really out of character, but out of what you would normally see him in. But he does do things like this quite a lot anyway. He's a very interesting performer, I'd say. We watched Twister.
Oh, nice.
The Yandabon Bill Paxton movie. Yeah, we decided we were going to watch Twister a couple of weeks ago. And we decided the night before we're going to watch Twister. And then we sat down and watched Twister, just assuming that it would either be on Netflix or on Sky On Demand, which it has been on Sky On Demand for ages. Wasn't there. Wasn't on Netflix, wasn't on Sky On Demand. And I thought, well, we're watching Twister. How much is it on? As long as it is a in quotes, reasonable price on iTunes, we're watching Twister. So I checked, and it was $7.99. I thought, that's not a reasonable price at all. But if it was $4.99, we'd be watching it. Is it worth £3 to now either A, go and download it, which I'd like to add, I owned it on VHS, I own it on DVD, so fuck that shit. Or £3 to have the argument over what else we're going to watch, or shall I just buy it?
Yeah.
So I just bought it.
Nice.
So watch Twister. Do you know what? I don't regret it at all. It's really entertaining and a lot of fun, and it still holds up. The effects still look nice. It's still a great story. I like the fact that it gets in and gets started straight away. It doesn't mess about with anything. It's nice seeing Helen Hunt in things. It's always great watching Bill Paxton in stuff, because I watched Bill Paxton in something else that I'll talk about in a minute, and watching him and going, seriously, how did Bill Paxton have this much of a career?
Yeah, yeah, that's a question, isn't it? It's just, he's so damn charming.
He is so damn charming, and he's so watchable, but very similar in a way to Keanu Reeves. His line delivery is so... some points that it makes him seem worse than he is. However, there's not a character that Bill Paxton ever plays where you don't believe that he is that character, which is really weird, because you'd think that he's a terrible actor, but he's not. He's just a really quirky actor.
Yeah.
So I also watched Frailty, starring Bill Paxton.
God, do you know what? I've never seen Frailty. I need to get on that. It's one I'm always like, I really want to watch this, and I just never bloody do.
Well, it's under 100 minutes long, just. It's got a real Stephen King-y vibe to it.
Sure.
It's Paxton's directorial debut on that as well. It sounds Matthew McConaughey, but a lot of it is, more of it is spent with Bill Paxton and his two kids. Because the idea is that Bill Paxton is raising his two boys on his own, called Fenton and Adam.
His kid's called Fenton.
Yes, his kid's called Fenton and Adam.
Nice.
And what happens is he gets... essentially, God speaks to him. And he thinks that God has bestowed this power upon him that him and his son have to kill these demons. The Fenton, the slightly older kid, he thinks that he's crazy, and essentially his dad's just gone mad and he's killing people. The younger brother, Adam, buys into it all. And it turns out that the Bill Paxton decides that the reason why Fenton isn't on board with it is because he's a demon, and he doesn't want to kill him because he's his son, but he's got to. He's got to do something about it. He's got to break him, essentially. And all this is happening as a flashback because there's a serial killer called God's Hand, who Powers Booth is investigating, and Matthew McConaughey goes and basically says, look, I know who the God's Hand serial killer is. It's my brother, Adam.
Right, okay.
And he's then relaying the story of how he became the serial killer.
Is this on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, I might have to do this. Yeah, okay.
don't worry, it's not fantastic, but it's really interesting, and it's a decent amount of fun. It's well worth a watch, but it's not fantastic, is what I'll say. But it does have a very kind of Stephen King-y kind of feel to it, in the sense of like It and things like that, of that kind of small 50s American town thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm bang up for that.
Yeah. Rewatch Gone Girl. Which I think it gets better every time I watch it.
I've been meaning to rewatch that.
For the simple fact is, the more you watch it, the more mad and the more, oh my god, she's such a terrible person Rosamund Pike's character gets, that the more I just absolutely fall in love with her as a character.
Yeah, I remember you saying that when we initially reviewed it, man. Like, you love a bit of the Pike, don't you?
I do, absolutely. And that, where he grabs her and smashes her into the wall and says, basically, calls her a C word, which I don't want to say because I know a lot is in the room.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry, the headphones are in, man. You can't, I can't say it, but you go ahead.
So she basically calls her a cunt, and she says, yeah, I may be a cunt, but I'm the cunt that you married. And it's like, and it's just, do you know what? At that point, I would defy any man who wouldn't absolutely go, do you know what? She's right. I am completely madly in love with this woman because, do you know what? She's insane.
But you're into it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, let's fucking do this. Do you know what we should do? What? We should kill some kids. And she'd probably just go, oh my god, we should do that. Like, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, man, you get on with her like a house on fire.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, loved it. So yeah, I Gone Girl is fantastic. Once you realise that it's not Ben Affleck's story, it's Rosamund Pike's.
Yeah.
You should just fucking go down. You should just go on the ride of your lifetime with that. And it's one of the greatest, I think, moments of the past few years, or the greatest horror moments of the past few years in cinema, is where she slashes Harry's throat, then turns him over and essentially finishes herself off with his writhing corpse.
Oh,
brilliant.
Man, you see, I need to rewatch Gone Girl as well. I really do. God, that's hilarious, that.
It's great. Rewatched the film Murder at 1600, the Wesley Snipes Diane Lane movie.
Mate, Murder at 1600 is a film that I have watched more than many, many, many classic films. More than I will watch in my... I got into a weird... Oh, God, I used to watch Murder at 1600, like, maybe every weekend for, like, a solid 2-3 months.
It's
and I don't know why.
Another one that I bought for $7.99 for the simple fact is I was in that bad a mood that I decided I was watching Murder at 1600,
yes.
and I wasn't going to choose anything else. So
Exactly.
that's how iTunes are getting money off me now. Frustration. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's that kind of 90s thriller vibe thing. Wesley Snipes is really good in it. He's top form Wesley Snipes in it. It's an interesting story. It's that kind of conspiracy-esque thing. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Murder at 1600 rewatch. Also watched Basic, the John Travolta, Sam Jackson movie.
Yes.
What a strange movie that is. Yeah, have you seen it?
Basic, yeah, like a while ago, yes.
Why is Giovanni Ribisi's character gay? Why is he that gay?
Why is he that gay?
Yeah, because he is. He starts and you go, he's very effeminate, and then it goes, oh, he's gay. Oh, and he's like an admiral's son. This is weird. This is where why is Samuel Jackson wearing a cape? It's just a strange movie, but then again, it's that thing of Travolta. He's so creepy, but so charismatic and charming in it as well. I really enjoyed it. Connie Nielsen's terrible, but it works because she's up against John Travolta, who at one point, literally, when he's going into him to sort of negotiate with somebody, and he makes a bet with Connie Nielsen that he can get this guy to talk within 3 minutes. Without even mentioning that he's an ex-ranger, and he lays on the table in almost like a playgirl pose, and sort of looks at him, and you're thinking that anybody else that wouldn't work. There's only 2 people that can get away with that: John Travolta and, weirdly enough, Nick Cage.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 people who can get away with that. Also, quite amusing that he's called Tom Hardy in it, because I get to imagine, I wonder what Tom Hardy would be like in this role. But yeah, Basic was fun. I enjoyed Basic. And finally, I rewatched a film by one of your favourite directors, but not one of your favourite films by that director.
Yes.
I rewatched Domino, the Tony Scott movie.
Man, yeah. Yeah.
Because you are a big Scott fan, aren't you?
Yeah, man.
I'm
Don't get me wrong.
absolutely
I'm a big Scott fan, but Domino can go take a running jump.
I love Domino.
Yeah, of course you love Domino. You're an idiot.
I love the fact that it's just...
Bloody George used to bang on about
George does like
Domino
as well, doesn't he? Yeah. I like the fact that it literally is just madness in a movie. Oh. It's so ridiculous, and it takes the reality TV idea that was exploding at the time, and it takes it, screws it up into a ball, and just goes, right, here you go. Here is this concentrated madness that is this movie. And then you grab it, and as Tony Scott's about to give you it, he just lets go, and it explodes all over your face, and you're covered in Domino just juice everywhere.
Yeah, Domino juice. Yeah.
And Mickey Rourke's great at it. The fact that he plays a badass bounty hunter, yet he looks like he can hardly walk. Keira Knightley is as terrible as Keira Knightley usually is, but it works in this movie. And Edgar Ramirez is fantastic as kind of this weird, kind of urban Mowgli.
Urban. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just kind of jumping around and shooting people's arms off. And you've got the usual crop up of characters that you usually get in a Tony Scott movie, where you get a random amount of just weird sort of like, oh, it's Mina Suarez, it's Lucy Liu, it's Delroy Lindo, it's Monique. Why is Ian Ziering in here? Tom Waits turns up and just basically just owns the entire movie. I love Domino. It's great.
You're an idiot. But
I am an idiot. I will freely admit that. Yes, that's all I've watched this past couple of weeks.
Nice.
Cool. Right. I don't think we have any questions, do we? Because I didn't ask until quite late today.
We probably don't, eh? Let's be honest.
But yes, my friend... a guy called Christopher Martin, who's at Drazig on Twitter, has said, have you tried exploitation TV? Like the idea, but not hugely sold on the content.
What is it?
I'm having a look now, seeing what it is. Oh, it's like get unlimited access to the internet's largest and evergreen collection of exploitation, cult, underground, and underappreciated oddities. Plans start $7 a month with a free trial period. It's just like exploitation movies and weird movies.
Yeah, nah. I wouldn't pay for that.
If it was a lot cheaper than $7.99, if it was $2.99, I'd maybe bite.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But also, well, apparently Amazon Prime has started doing a monthly subscription.
Yeah, man, $5.99, isn't it, just for the video?
Yeah, I'll be getting that today, and I'm going to look to see what's on that tonight, to be honest.
I'm about halfway through City Hall.
Oh, the Al Pacino movie?
Yeah. I'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, the thing is, because the thing is, everyone has this uproar about the VPN and the DSN closing and the multi-region Netflix thing, them closing that loophole. And the thing is, I used it loads. I used it all the time. The thing is, you weren't supposed to use it.
Yeah. And
they've closed the loophole, and they are absolutely well within their rights to do that. I do think they need to up their game a little bit with the content a little bit on. The UK one, I know people in Australia have kind of said the same thing, that the content on there is terrible. They do need to up the game a little bit on that. But then again, I pay $5.99 and I get all of that content. So it's a bit like, stop fucking whining.
Yeah.
So, but now there's Amazon out there. I'm looking forward to sort of $5.99. I'll happily have that so I can have access to that library and sort of see what's around. If I hardly ever watch anything like it, I'll cancel it. But to be honest, with the few bits that I buy on iTunes, with Sky and the on-demand service there, and then Amazon Prime and Netflix, I should be pretty much covered. If I can't watch it on that, then I'm sure I can find something else I can watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that is episode 156 of Dude and the Monkey. I don't believe there's anything else to add, is there, Ian?
No, man. I think we're good.
Yeah, so what we're covering next week?
Jane got a gun?
Yes, Jane's got a gun, yeah, because it's interesting. It's been on the cards for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm quite looking forward to it, man. Gavin O'Connor, interesting cast there. Why not?
Yep, I'm very much behind that. I might be going to see Miles Ahead as well.
Yeah. Oh man, what? To be fair, I'd only get to one. I think I'd rather do Jane Got a Gun myself, but I'd be very intrigued to see what you think of Miles Ahead.
Yeah, I'm the only one to do that. I've got a few weeks where I've got doubles because I'm doing a double of that this week, and then next week it's Civil War, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I also really want to see Demolition.
Oh god, yeah, that's out next week as well. There's Cineworld are doing an unlimited screening of Green Room next Wednesday.
Ah.
So I'll be doing that. I'm like a couple of weeks before it actually comes out as well, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's getting into some good stuff, man.
Yeah, because the following week after that again, I've got a double one as well. Bad Neighbours and Knight of Cups.
Oh, bloody Knight of Cups, Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that was episode 156. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. We thank you for listening. At Dude and the Monkey on Twitter, at DudeFalls, at Ian Loring, dudeandmonkey@gmail.com. Check out Ian's Game Face YouTube video on
It'll
there.
probably be the only one there ever is, but
there will be. We're not going to get rid of the YouTube channel. There will be things cropping up on it as and when. I'm hoping to do a bit of a football kind of like season review, and then I'm going to try and do bits throughout the Euros and kind of get into the flow of doing it there, and then start from next season and try and do that. Because hopefully I might actually get some fucking free time at some point in my life. But I'm not going to promise to commit to anything. But yeah, so just keep your eye out because there'll be stuff might crop up on there, and obviously if me and Ian end up in the same fucking place, then there'll definitely be something going up on there.
For sure, yeah.
Yes, so we bid you adieu and thank you very much.
Bye.